Lights, camera, debate, ignite, passion strong under the spotlight. Tune in for the clash, tune in for the spark, the critic and the cynic light up the dark.
Welcome back to The Critic and the Cynic. That brings us to the next one, which looks incredibly religious, called Following Yonder Star. This has a pretty fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a really high score on the audience side. So whatever this is, Rotten Tomatoes, apparently, I'm going to open up the actual website, see if it's changed. No, this is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. That's where they're getting the score, isn't it? Yep. So there's some kind of glitch. If you go to track.tv, don't look at that, because for some reason the scores that are attached to Following Yonder Star are linked to Black Panther 2.
This isn't even out yet.
It's today, in a few hours. But that doesn't mean that critics can't watch it and score. Anyways, so like I said, the poster looks pretty religious. It's just got a couple of people in a very Nicholas Sparks kind of way. They look very airbrushed.
It looks like a really, really cheesy romance.
It does, quite a bit. Let's just go ahead and read the tagline, which says, "Love leading, still proceeding."
Song lyrics.
You think so? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go ahead and read the premise then. When a scandal... Ooh, scandals. Those are always fun.
Oh, okay. What kind of scandal do you think Hallmark comes up with? I forgot to mail my Christmas card on time. Oh, no.
When a scandal upends a famous TV mother's life ahead of the holidays, she heads to a luxury Vermont resort for Christmas.
It's always Vermont.
Upon arriving, a booking error leads her to a quaint B&B owned by an astronomy teacher.
Oh, great. I guess that's where the star comes in.
I suppose so. Who's playing our people here? Brooke d'Orsay is the girl. Brooke d'Orsay. And I don't know. Do you recognize her? Grace and Frankie? Chelsea? Does that sound familiar to you? It's only a couple episodes.
No. I mean, I love Grace and Frankie. That's an awesome show. I also watch Drop Dead Diva. I watch all of that.
And she was in...
Boy-girl thing.
She was in Gary Unmarried, 17 episodes of Sasha. I watched that.
It's not a great sign that she is so forgettable, because we've seen quite a
lot of stuff with her in. Yeah, I have to admit, there has been quite a bit on her roster, but I don't remember her. Okay, maybe when we're actually watching, it'll be it's that person.
They just have a lot of work done.
Yeah, so that's her, and then the guy is played by John Brotherton. Okay, I'm seeing Guardians of the Galaxy here. Hold on. Dr. Matt Harmon in Fuller House, 37 episodes. Furious 7, Shepherd, Life in Pieces, Wyatt. It was one episode, though. Nova Star Blaster pilot, so that's why I wouldn't really recognize him from Guardians of the Galaxy. He's like an extra. And The Conjuring is Brad Hamilton.
So he's also in Drop Dead Diva. Interesting. I wonder if they're in the same episode.
Good point. I will say I recognize his face
a little bit,
but I couldn't place him in anything that I've seen. Obviously, we just look through his filmography, and with their stuff that we've seen, it's just I can't place him. I just saw him. That's why I recognize him. Time cut. Okay. So, that is Following Yonder Star. 2 hours later.
Everything about this was unpleasant.
It wasn't great. So, yeah, I think the general public considers this to be the most quote-unquote religious-esque out of the entire list of movies this Christmas, and I would agree. Though it's not a Christian movie per se, it's just that they are putting on a play of nativity, I think, and they're waiting to see a actual Christmas star.
There's a lot of I prayed for this and like prayer in the movie. Like I don't know.
They gotta appeal to the masses, so they gotta appeal to everybody, including the people that literally celebrate Christmas for Christmas.
That's fine, but like we predicted, the scandal was lame.
Yep,
It
so
was
the scandal that
bad.
she's caught up in is she has a hissy fit in a store.
She gets some bad news on the phone and then has a mini meltdown in a store that really, I mean, I've worked retail and I've seen worse. I'm just gonna say that. Like, people suck,
Right.
and that was pretty much nothing.
So what they were trying to go for, I feel like, is the start of cancel culture for this person, because everybody was acting like it was the worst thing that happened. They were acting like she killed her dog or something,
And filmed it.
and filmed like, oh, I can't believe it. I just can't see her doing something like that. I'm like what? We all
And they gossip about it for the rest of the movie.
So,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's not that.
like it's so bad she has to get out of town. She goes to a hotel and it's full up, and she doesn't have celebrity status to get a room apparently, and so she ends
Well,
up.
because she's tainted goods.
Yeah.
And she had her little mini meltdown and they filmed it.
And then, and she gets sent off to a B&B where everybody in this small town's gathering to watch this North Star thing. And the owner of the B&B is
a turd.
our bearded turd man himself.
He's not really a turd. He's just like so bland.
He's weird. Out of like all the guys that we've seen in the movies,
He gives me like, I know, who did you say that he reminded you of? But he reminds me of Aaron Eckhart a little bit, who I've never really cared for.
you think Aaron Eckhart? Oh, I can see
Just look-
Aaron
look at-
Eckhart
yeah, look at
a little bit from profile.
Profile.
I think, and forward on, he looks like the guy in the Vampire Diaries.
Oh, the guy who plays
Alaric, yeah.
I don't know his name,
Yeah, I don't either. He just gave me that vibes.
but he's also just not as cool as either of them, and that's somebody who doesn't really care about those people either.
He's bland, but the whole entire movie is pretty bland.
She also is pretty just, yeah.
I'm sure we're supposed to like them.
Well, you're always supposed to like the leads, but this was a stretch.
A little bit. So go ahead and rate it.
30.
Weirdly enough, I was telling you to go ahead and rate it, and I'm putting a number in my head while you're talking, and you just blurt out the same number. So I got 30.
It is not good.
Yeah, we've seen better. We've seen worse.
Well, I mean, I would have vetoed this one if I could have, but
Right. See, when we first started doing this, we didn't have the posters for everything, especially this later on. So all we had were just titles. But if I saw the poster, but we're not allowed. We have to actually watch some of it. We cannot veto it based off of posters.
I don't know. I mean, I probably could have vetoed.
Anyways, not a great movie. We don't recommend it. So that is Following Yonder Star.